When I consider AHAC and the participation I've been afforded to have with it, I just feel overwhelmed with gratitude that we have a city that is interested in what is the dynamic of the homeless in Austin, Texas. What makes up the homeless? Who are we? You know, how many different demographics are actually there that actually makes up the homeless community? And I was just, the way we started was with the Bloomberg grant that was given. And they applied for that because the city council, city management wanted to know who are our homeless. And I think any city can benefit from finding out who are your homeless in your city. What makes up that demographic? Is it a lot of senior citizens? Are there a lot of people that are mentally challenged? Or there are people that are veterans? You know, different communities have different populations that make up their homeless, and if you don't know who they are and you just assume the demographic, then you really can't meet the needs of every group, you know, specific group that's in your demographic. And that's one benefit I think every city would have if they were to do that, because then what it does is it helps you tailor services to fit the need of the homeless in your community. You know, if you have more veterans, if you have more abused people, if you have more teenage runaways, you know, who are your people? Then that way you know how to go for funding for those specific service providers that reach out to help those homeless in the community.
I feel like the overall importance of AHAC is to understand what homeless people are going through, what they need, and what services the city can put together to help the homeless.
The benefit of being on AHAC is you will get some exposure. Like I said, even with me, the jury's still out, so I'm not gonna debunk it, and I'm not gonna promote it either this time. So I really don't have a report card on it yet. That's what you're asking for.
I believe that some of the benefits that AHAC can offer the Austin community is a perspective when it comes to restorative justice and, kind of getting to the root of bias and bringing a healing-centered approach to service care providers who serve vulnerable populations.
The primary importance of an organization like AHAC is simply getting the voice of the homeless from the homeless. Staff here has done a tremendous job of making sure we have a diverse group of folks. That is also essential. But to solve homelessness, you have to talk to people that are going through homelessness. Let me rephrase that. To solve homelessness, you have to talk to the people going through homelessness. That's the only way you're gonna get this solved. You need to realize that there's not one big paintbrush, not one solution for everyone. Everyone is unique. You have to learn what they need. And from that, then you can build a path for them to get out of homelessness.
Okay, AHAC, the biggest priority for the group is to give information to the city council or to different groups of people who actually want to get out there and help, who don't know how. So they get the information for people who have experienced homelessness, because without us, they wouldn't know. They'd be taking a wild guess. But if you lived it, it's a whole new ball game. But if you haven't lived it, then it's not. Because in my opinion, once you have lived it and whatnot, you have the experience, the knowledge, for us to help someone. And in picking anybody for this group, you have to make sure that they have experience with dealing with the homeless, because you have many things that could go wrong if you pick the wrong person. A lot of people do this for the wrong reasons. Their heart's not in it. But if their heart's in it, then they'll be able to help another person, help the council, and help whoever is trying to help other people.
The biggest benefit for the Austin Homeless Advisory Committee is the opportunity to provide a sort of a future update on the design of services for a specific population, which is the homeless community in Auckland. Often people that are homeless have psychiatric disabilities or have issues with family of origin violence or issues with substance abuse. And quite often the services in previous iterations of history do not take into account the needs of individuals who are members of this community. So AHAC specifically provides an opportunity for stakeholders and people that design services to have an opportunity to hear from the population they're going to serve in particular, and give them basically give them it gives both the stakeholders and the individual on AHAC the opportunity to provide feedback to the city in terms of design of services, and give people an opportunity to do something productive and give back. One of the problems with being homeless is the lack of engagement, the lack of employment, the lack of doing something worthwhile, and that's something I've noticed about AHAC, is that it's not merely just a bunch of people getting together and talking about homelessness, whether they're the facilitators or homeless people, but it gives people who are formerly disenfranchised, who have issues with social engagement or employment, to do something productive and feel like they're doing something productive. So I feel like that's the best thing about AHAC for the community to live in.
I think the benefit of having a group like AHAC is that you are getting people with learned experience to share what their lives have been like being homeless, and that way people are not using information they've received from a book or hearsay. It's their own experience, and nothing helps more than their own experience.
For AHAC, it's a powerful tool to let the community know that there is an issue that's in the community. It's a direct line that we could get to the city council, or not to the city council, but to the aides, that they could listen to us. We solve and we deal with issues that's dealing with homelessness is in the community. We have members of 15 members. All of us got different backgrounds and different beliefs, and we come from different lifestyles, but we make it work somehow.
To me, the overall importance of AHAC is to let people know how it feels to be homeless, and just give our input of our experiences and be truthful. And like they said when you first started, there's no wrong answers. So,
As a member of AHAC, I believe that it's been advantageous to our community here in Austin for several reasons. One is being homeless, I could say myself. It gave me a sense of purpose. Being on the street, a sense of having something in lieu of my personal experience, not being able to find a job because of medical issues in the beginning and being frustrated and everything else, but it gave me a way to drive forward and see a goal in the end, and in tandem with that, with other people around me to the left and right, other people in my community, it gave all of us the
the opportunity to help others at the same time, I believe.